Hey everyone, happy Friday. Hopefully you guys had a good week and going into the weekend with some fun plans with your family or your loved ones, or you're like me and probably going to work the weekend away. But I just wanted to do a quick video, as most of you guys probably know, because most of the people that watch this, watch me or my channel, are also friends or know of James Yeager's passing. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to tell some stories that nobody knows about, that James would prefer that I, didn't talk about, because, and you'll know why at the end of the story, why he doesn't want me to, never wanted me to, talk about these things. And, but anyways, so, back in, early 2018, my family's business was sold, and I had abruptly left the company, and I went to work for a local company selling lawn fertilizer, and I still had, a family to support, and I, didn't really know what to do. So I just went out there and, applied for a job, and that was the first one that came along. And, to be honest with you, I really never worked for anybody else. I did, when I was in high school and going to college and stuff, but after that, I went to work for the family business, and I've been there pretty much my entire adult life. So I really, really never experienced working for somebody else as an adult, and what a rude awakening that was. I was absolutely miserable. I was in such a bad way mentally and stuff. It was just absolutely horrible. I absolutely hated myself, but I had to do it. I felt stuck because we had bills to pay, we had kids to feed and stuff. And of course, I met James back in 2006, 2007 era, right when he first started, really building his YouTube channel, really started getting a name. I immediately was watching his videos and stuff and really liked the content that he was putting out. And we were at SHOT Show back then, and he was walking one way and I was walking the other way, and I seen him, I recognized him, so I stopped him, and I'm like, hey James, this, introduced myself, told him what I was here doing and stuff like that, and we just hit it off. Very humble man, very, very nice, very open, and we just kind of been friends ever since, and our friendship grew over the years with the business that I was previous with. And so anyways, back to December 16, 17 of 2018, I'm, stuck working for this local company, hating myself, lost my way in life. I was in a bad way, mentally, and I really didn't know how bad I was. And like I said, me and James kept in contact throughout that time and stuff. And I don't remember what it was exactly, but I had text him something, and that initiated a phone call at about 6 p.m. on that date right after I got back. And the phone call kind of sort of went like this. I was just like, hey man, he called, hey man, which a lot of that, Yeager doesn't do a lot of talking on the phone. It's usually through message or, something like that. And I was like, hey man, what's up? And he's like, hey, listen, fucker. He's like, you no longer work for that company. You work for yourself, making fucking ammunition. And you need to quit that frickin' job and start a new ammunition company, because that's what you were fucking born to do. And of course, I gave him every excuse in the book. And really, now that I'm looking back, I was scared. I was scared to do it, and I gave every excuse in the book that I could do. And again, like everybody that knows James knows that excuses don't work very well with him, and he absolutely didn't put up with it. And he just gave me an ass ream and said, this is what you're doing now. You now work for yourself. No more fucking excuses. And us continuing to talk about this is wasting time, because the only competition you have is a time clock. That's it. He's like, get to fucking work. So of course I hung up the phone with them, continued making excuses on why I can't do this, blah, 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 and everything. Well, within 24 hours, I had filed for my business license, my tax license, and my FFL was within a couple of days later. Came up with the name Defiant Munitions. Text James, I'm like, what do you think about Defiant Munitions? We had a whole list of names, throughout the days, going over, and nothing really fit. And then I seen the word Defiant somewhere, and I'm like, holy shit, Defiant Munitions. That's it. That fits my personality and my life story so perfectly. And I texted to James, and he was like, dude, that's perfect. Said the same thing. And so that's how Defiant Munitions, became its name. And anyways, so I'm working on building this business, bouncing everything that I possibly could off of James. And, James is, a master at, marketing and stuff. I think, like a lot of the things that he has done, he knows how to, knows really well how to do it. So I was constantly, bouncing things off of him, probably bugged the shit out of him. But, so anyways, and then James, called another time, and he said, hey man, we would like to come out and do a training class, in Sturgis, and come see the rally. And I was like, sure, so we had him come out. He did a training class filled up within minutes, of course. And we had a great time. And at the end of the class, he pulled me aside in private, and he gave me all the profits from that class. And I couldn't freaking believe it. And that's just the kind of, person he is. I thanked him. And then even later, like a couple days later, I thanked him again. And he's like, stop. You've already thanked me once before. Enough. He just didn't want any kind of recognition for any of the stuff that he did for me or for anybody. And that's just that's how he is. He's an extremely humble man. And I just couldn't believe it. But that is how we were able to afford our very first packaging for Defiant Munitions. So the black boxes that you see in all of our premium line ammunition, the very first order that was paid for with the money that James gave me. And to be honest with you, if he wouldn't have done that, I honestly have no clue how we would have been able to. Because if anybody knows, packaging and the design and everything is extremely expensive. It's very, very expensive because you have die costs and everything and setup. It's truly very expensive. We had a mutual friend, Marcus Allen, and from Sinister Cotton, another great dude that I could never repay. And he helped me design.
Daddy.
Yes, son. Okay, Daddy's talking right now. Okay, just. Okay, your cousin will come over here soon. Okay, Dad's talking. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, go play. Okay, Dad's talking right now. Okay.
Hey, I could go high.
Okay. Okay. All right, but Dad's talking right now. He'll be with you in just a minute, okay, buddy? And then Daddy will play with you. Okay. Sorry, guys. There's no way I can go hide somewhere in this house and do this video without interruptions from one of the children. It's just me, man. So I'm just gonna leave this in the video. Now that I lost my train of thought. Yeah, it's very expensive. So Marcus Allen helped me out. That's who designed the DM logo that you guys are now familiar with. Marcus was nice enough and patient enough for me to do that. And so that's where the logo came from. And it was it just went together seamlessly. Geez, I can't talk today. That's how we got our packaging and stuff. And after the second order of packaging, it's a lot cheaper because like I said, you don't have any design work, you don't have any die costs, all that. It's several $1,000s cheaper. So yeah, that's how we did it. And you know, I can't even begin to tell you guys, you know, the other things that I know James has done for me and for other people. James didn't have to do that. James didn't have to have me on his YouTube channel multiple times, you know, and promote my company to try to help me build, you know, Defiant Munitions, but he did. And he did it because he was a friend. And he really wanted to see other people in his industry succeed. And that was the most special thing about James. He truly loved his country, and he truly loved his industry and his people. And you know, the old saying goes, you know, he'll give you the shirt off his back. That's not even really the words for it. It just, we truly lost a true icon of our industry, a one-of-a-kind icon, and he's irreplaceable. And so anyways, and then a couple years down the road, we were at SHOT Show, and I had a lot of you guys might know Jacob Herman. We were really good friends and stuff, and then there was a misunderstanding that happened from, at the time, a mutual friend, no longer a mutual friend. There was a misunderstanding. Some information got twisted around, and after I got back from SHOT Show, Jacob called me, and you know, we talked it out, and you know, pretty much Jacob said, you know, hey, we're no longer friends. You go your way, I'll go my way, and that was the end of it. And that, you know, Jacob's a good dude, and it was a tough friendship to lose. Well, about, I don't know, 6 years to a month go by, and I'm talking to James on the phone again, and somehow Jacob Herman got brought up, and I said, hey, we kind of had a falling out, and you know, we're not friends anymore. And James is like, what? So, and I'm like, hey man, don't call Jacob. I know you guys are tight. You know, I don't want to, you know, rekindle any fire or anything like that. He made it very clear that we're no longer friends, you know, and whatever. Within an hour, Jacob calls me. And what we had figured out is that it was literally just a communication error between mine and Jacob's mutual friend at the time. It was so silly and so stupid, but James went the extra mile and called him and just said, you know, whatever he said to him. And me and Jacob have been good friends ever since. And, you know, now that I go back and think about it, it was so stupid of us. Anyways, so, you know, just to show, that's the kind of dude he wants. He wants his people in the industry and his country to succeed. And the greatest thing that we can do to repay James for his kindness, for everything that he did in our industry, is to live in his name, to live and succeed personally and in business. And that's the greatest gift that we can give back. And, you know, so every day that goes by, I will personally live in his name and succeed personally, and have Defiant Munitions succeed and flourish, to forever repay the things that he has done for me and my company and other friends. And so anyways, I just wanted to share some of these, you know, personal stories with you, and I just thought they were cool. And nobody's ever heard those stories. I know they haven't, because even with the one with Jacob, the only 3 people in the world that probably know is me, Jacob, and James. So, and I know nobody knows about the one, you know, the time that he came up here, because he asked me not to tell anybody. And the reason why he didn't want me to tell anybody about the class stuff in the packaging is because he didn't want anybody to recognize, you know, the things that he does. He doesn't want, he's too humble for anybody to, you know, say, hey man, that was really cool, thank you so much. He didn't like that shit. And, you know, and I had to respect him and not say anything. And so me and James have been friends for a long time, and I just wanted to tell you these stories so we can, you know, try, not shed any tears for him, but to repay him by living in his name. I always told James, and actually just a few weeks, maybe a month ago, I was messaging him, and we were talking about something, and I said, man, he had said something to me, and I said, man, you have always been a better friend to me than I ever have to you, and he's like, he texted me back, and I knew it kind of pissed him off, and he's like, man, it's never been like that. And I said, well, man, I appreciate it. Anyways, so I'll leave you guys with that. I will say one thing to end the video. Your responsibility to live in his name never ends.